Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Hallahan High's Just a Girl from Hallahan. And today I'm joined by
Francis, Small-Mcgoldrick Class of 74. Franny Small.
Yeah, good afternoon, Francis. How are you?
Good. How are you?
So you ready to take a trip down memory lane to Mickey Mouse High?
Sure thing.
So let's start it off this way. What parish did you come from? What neighborhood?
Holy Name, Fishtown.
Oh, Fishtown girl.
Yeah.
That's where my wife is from. What part of Fishtown? What area?
I lived on Houston Street where Holy Name is and on Montgomery Avenue.
Awesome. Yeah, my wife was at Goal and Susquehanna.
Okay.
Right
Okay.
down the street from France. So let me ask you this question. Out of the high schools that you could have chose, why did you choose Hallahan?
Actually back in 70, 71, we didn't really have much of a choice. I mean, I could have gone to public school. I could have gone to one of the academies, but there was never any thought in my mind to go anywhere but Hallahan.
And most of the girls, I'm assuming that you went to school with also chose Hallahan?
It seemed like a lot of us, yes, chose Hallahan. We did have some that went to business school. And most of my friends that I went with didn't really stay the whole 4 years. So I had to meet other people from other parishes. It was very interesting. It was a good experience for 4 years.
Now, come to think of it, Holy Name is not a big parish.
No.
So you go from a small parish at Holy Name in Fishtown
Right.
to high school. Now, do you remember your first day, like going from a little grade school into a nice, huge high school? What was your thoughts?
Actually, I do remember I don't remember much, but my first day is a memory that I do have. We all went together, took the L downtown. I wasn't allowed to go downtown before starting high school. So it was really, a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. And we used to get off and stand at 15th Street where the Horn and Hardicks used to be, at the Wanamakers. And sometimes we walked through the concourse, but it was fun. We had, I don't know, about 8 girls that all went together the first day, and walking into the new school, not having a clue where we were going, what lockers were. We never had a locker before that day. It was pretty interesting.
So I know I graduated in 1992,
Uh-huh.
and I know the girls back then, I remember sitting on the corner with them on the bus stops. Everybody had their routine. The girls used to get the Arctic Splash. So
Yeah.
what was your guys' morning? You see you laugh, it's true. What was your guys' morning routine? Like what was it? Did you guys meet up at a certain area? What was your everyday routine?
I think it was more the afternoon routine, to stop at the cart, to get the cookies, and to walk through the concourse and go in the stores, get on the L. We didn't really sit anywhere. We just, kept walking. But the cookies are another memory that I'll never forget. Cookies, 3 cookies in the cellophane. I don't know if North Catholic had them too. We had them in school, and the guy had them out on the cart.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's what I remember.
So who was your crew? Who did you go to school with every day? Who would you meet up with?
When I first started, like I said, they didn't stay the whole 4 years. There was Teresa Fleming. I know she didn't stay. Dorothy Foley, she did not stay. It turns out that none of them that I remember starting with stayed. So my friend, who I am still best friends with today, Denise McGann, was from another parish. Right now it escapes me, but she was on the other side of Lehigh Avenue, where Jones School is. So Denise McGann McCabe is still my best friend from school. And I went to grade school with Linda Johnson. She went to St. Anne's. It was really cool to see all them because I left St. Anne's when I was in 6th grade. And then I came to Holy Name when I was in 7th grade. So it was nice to see the girls from St. Anne's again that I could remember. But mostly, and then I met a couple girls from Roxborough, Joan Scarbeck, and Barbara Sidlecki, I think it was. Joan and I just reconnected on Facebook, which is really nice. It's one of the good things about Facebook, but the memories are not as clear as they used to be.
So I'm sure we can both agree, just like North Catholic, Hallahan probably had some pretty incredible teachers, whether they were nuns or just basic teachers. What teacher or nuns, like I said, nuns are regular teachers, what would have stood out to you? Who would have stood out to you the most and why?
I've been thinking about this since you sent me the list of what you'd be asking me. I would have to say the most fun teacher was freshman year, French 1, Madam Bowles. She was a riot. She had an accent. She was a lot of fun. She made French fun. Unfortunately, I did pass that class. And I went on to have Miss Kimmons in my sophomore year, and no, it didn't continue. But Miss Kimmons, I remember her, and Chicken Fat, our morning routine with the gym teachers, Miss Biello, the famous Miss Biello. I remember Miss Lobo. She wasn't a favorite, but I remember her. She was a little bit mean. But the rest of the names don't come to me. My biggest thing with high school, I was a wallflower. I loved it, but I didn't put myself out there. I joined the swim team. It didn't last. But I moved up to Northeast Philly into St. Hubert's area. And the first year my daughter went to high school, you weren't allowed to change high schools. You had to go to your feeder school. She graduated in 96. We got special permission from the Archdiocese for her to go to Hallahan. Fonzie, the coach, wanted her to play soccer for Hallahan. So she went to Hallahan, and I'm thankful that her sisters followed her. So I had 3 daughters that graduated also. So I got to relive high school through them. I spent a lot of time down there. Met Miss Biello again, met Miss Lobo again. Miss Kimmons was down there. That is something that I'm sorry that these girls are not going to get to experience. You know, that's the legacy of Hallahan. The thing is going back. Yeah,
you're 100% correct. Now, you mentioned that you did some swimming. What other activities did you participate in? What other activities were available at Hallahan during your era?
There were a lot of clubs. I did not join in anything besides swimming. I was a wallflower, honestly. I wanted to join, I wanted to do things, but I wasn't, for lack of a better word, I wasn't brave enough. So I kind of just got through school, but the lesson learned was to tell other people they're the best 4 years of your life and you really should make the best of them. And that's what I gave my girls. That was the lesson taught. But you know, the fountain at the end of the year, I wasn't allowed to ruin my shoes. So I was, you know, you're afraid to do certain things because of your parents. I did go once, terrified all the way home, but I had fun. It was a blast. Something I'll always remember.
So you jumped in, huh? You jumped in or you didn't jump in?
No, I jumped in. Yeah, I did.
Amen.
Yeah. Thankful I did that. Yeah. So
my mom mentioned you had, was it called Sister Day or Hallahan Day? Hallahan Day. How was Hallahan Day for you? If you remember from your freshman year until you became a senior, and then you had your little sister that you had to decorate up.
Right. Yeah. Hallahan Day was a lot of fun. It went from one person, we used to get ribbons from the school, and it went from people wearing just a ribbon. You know, there were some of us who just wore a ribbon, and then there were others who were decorated fully, and it was a baby thing. They would fill bottles with candy and give to their little sisters, and the taffies, and, you know, of course the freshmen are all in green, sophomores blue, yellow for the juniors, red for the seniors. It was a lot of fun. Hallahan Day was a lot of fun. Our show in 1974 was very good. Diane Scott, I remember Diane Scott McMillan, her name is now. was a big part of the yearbook and Hallahan Day. Our class president, can't remember her name right now. I remember all of them and their performances, and it was really a lot of fun. And I give them a lot of credit for pulling that together and, putting on a really good show for us.
So at North Catholic, they called it, we were the Falcons. So what was Hallahan High School? We got girls just known as Mickey Mouse. What were you known as?
No, I do know that they called the gym the Mousetrap.
Mousetrap. There you go.
Yeah.
Mousetrap.
Because it was hard for other schools to come in and play. It was so little, and the were low. So it was kind of like to our advantage to have, knowledge of how the court worked. So yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
So if somebody was to come up to you and say, what was it like to go to Hallahan? Like these girls now, I guess, with the school closing, there's, obviously whoever's there has got to move on. So now your legacy. So if someone says to you, hey, what was it like? What was it like to be in the halls of Hallahan? What's the best way to describe it?
Because of the history, and I feel this a lot when it comes to anything old being downtown, I think that who walked the halls before us, and you think about, what it was like for them. So I think maybe that's where the sisterhood comes from. My aunts all went to Hallahan. So what was it like in the 40s? What was it like in the 30s? The school was still basically the same size. I mean, we did acquire the Cathedral Grade School later, but we were basically half of that building until we got the grade school. So it wasn't a big building, and we had some big classes. We had, over 600 girls at one time. So and these girls come at the diversity that you're coming from all different neighborhoods and all different backgrounds, and the diversity and the being down in Center City nobody else had that. So, the job offers that we got, and I worked for Verizon. So when I went in to apply for that job at Bell Telephone, they were happy to see that I graduated Hallahan. They were happy to have me. And I found that anywhere I applied for a job out of school was the same thing. They were all very impressed with Hallahan girls and our education. So, it's the history, it's the sisterhood, it's the memories all culminated into one school, one building.
With that being said, how do you think Hallahan prepared you for your career, what you did, and how do you think it guided you in life?
There were rules. You had to be in class. You had to be on time. I think it gave me that, it helped solidify my work ethics. And I think that's it. It just helped, with the background, the discipline. I think that we need the discipline in school.
With talking about discipline, North Catholic had jug. What was Hallahan's version of detention? What was it called? Was it called jug, or what? Help us out here.
I don't think it was. I don't remember what it was called. No, I don't think it was. I don't remember any name for detention. It's not that I didn't have detention, but I don't remember a name for detention, but I do remember jug. My ex-husband graduated from North Catholic.
Okay.
I remember. What
was something that you got in trouble for in detention? What was some of the stupid, like something like you back then, like you could man, what the hell did I just do? What got you detention? What's get these girls detentions in Hallahan?
Probably a little bit of being a little mouthy. Sister Joan Schmall was not to be messed with. She was a little tiny nun. She was our disciplinarian. I was in homeroom with her niece, but she was not to be messed with. Sister Joan was very respected. So, we pretty much watched ourselves. And I can't remember what I got detention for. but I probably didn't have it much. I was pretty straight and, narrow. I didn't veer too far off. But I do remember, and I sometimes think, am I remembering correctly? My first year, there was no tuition from what I remember. And I think it went to $150 the following 2 or 3 years. And I remember that my mother had trouble paying that. So I remember almost being thrown out a few times, and the tears, the crying. I can't, do what you have to do. She did get to keep me in school, and I did graduate and got my yearbook. I think even senior year was pretty rough, but I just remember it being free, and I just can't even imagine, that going from that to what it is today.
When did the shoelaces come into play? I know you all had the badges with the green, the yellow, red, whatever the colors were. Were the shoelaces in effect when you were there yet, or is it just the patches?
No, the shoelaces were there. Yeah, thankfully.
So every year,
love the shoelaces.
Every year, you guys, you got to step up, and what was it like knowing that next year, from freshman to sophomore to junior, senior, that you get to wear that extra, that new color to signify, your upbringing through the high school? What was that like?
From freshman to sophomore, getting the blue. Sophomores had a reputation. They were the bad year. That's when, I don't know why. I guess we were feeling our oats in sophomore year. Going to junior year was okay, but those red laces and that red emblem, awesome. Best feeling ever. And somebody put pictures up of our old gym uniforms. We all got the same gym uniform, and we all had to go home and embroider our names and our homeroom on the front. So that was pretty hideous. Some of us couldn't, but the red, moving to red was the best feeling, but it was also the sad year. It was the year you were done. So
yeah. How about proms? Any of your proms? How about senior proms specifically?
I didn't go to my senior prom. The guy I was dating from North Catholic, my ex-husband, didn't want to go, so I didn't go. Junior year, we went to the Franklin Institute in the Ben Franklin room. That's the kind of pull we had being downtown.
Wow.
It was really, really cool. Yeah, I missed my senior.
What would have been your highlight in your 4 years at Hallahan High School?
The highlight, the friends that I ended up making towards the end. You change friends throughout the 4 years. I did anyway. The friends I came out of high school with, the happiness I felt in my last year, especially my last year. So I would say senior year was my highlight. Everything about senior year I loved. The other years were some struggles, but senior year was my best year, and it was my highlight.
Do you have any memorabilia you want to share with anybody today?
I don't. I'm in the process of moving, and everything is packed away. But I did find my yearbook recently, so it's somewhere, but I don't have it with me. So I'm happy about that. But no, I don't really have anything. That's why I wore the shirt, and that's why I have the sign with me. But
so unfortunately, just like North Catholic, now my freshman year is when rumors were flashing around about, merging or, eventually going to close. You guys just got hit like a ton of bricks immediately.
Yes.
Just having this conversation with you and knowing how much Hallahan meant to you, when that word comes out that Hallahan's closing, what goes through your mind?
Like a disbelief. I just can't even believe it's happening. I can feel this sadness now and the anger. I'm angry and sad, and I just think that we weren't given a fair shake, and I hope that the fight continues, and I hope that we get something out of it besides being ignored, because right now we're being ignored. That's not a good feeling. I would expect better, there is a hearing coming up, and I'm hoping that the people with the knowledge can get things going. I'll be as much support as I can be. Any kind of if I can be there, I'll be there for any kind of meetings or the court. If I can go to the court, if I'm allowed. I just can't even believe it. It's the history. It's Roman didn't close. Hallahan should not have closed because of the same reasons. And we have Roman support. They're behind us too.
So the rumor is that there's supposed to be an academy, a Hallahan Academy starting up. So,
Yes.
And here's the thing, like it just won't be the same. Am I correct?
Yes, no, it will not be the same.
You know, I mean, the halls that you walk through compared to going to a new building, it's just, I mean, new legacies will be formed, the name will be there, but it just won't be the same.
Right. If they're even allowed to use the name, that's the fight right now. They may not let them use the name, not Mary's name or Hallahan. So, and I agree with you totally that a new school is not the same, but anything we can do to help these girls, you know, form a new legacy is okay by me.
So if there's anything you want to say to your former classmates, the girls who just graduated and the girls who are going to be forgotten about, what would you like to pass on to them?
You broke up. The girls that what?
Even the girls that are being forgotten about and they're all fending to try to find another school. What kind of words of advice would you give to these girls, especially even the graduates and, like I said, the ones that are being left behind?
Well, the graduates, I would say stick with your alumni, join your alumni. Is that the right word? And to the girls who have to go to a new school, whether it be Hallahan Academy or Mary whatever her name is. But whatever you go to, wherever you go, these are the best 4 years of your life. Like I told my girls, they're the best 4 years of your life. They graduated in 96, 98, and 2002. And they did listen to me for the most part. My oldest was big into soccer, volleyball. My middle daughter was Mickey Mouse for a little bit. And they all have wonderful careers. They all went and got a career after. You know, I have a dental hygienist, I have an X-ray, MRI tech, and a teacher.
Awesome.
They did better than me, and that's all I can ask. Do the best you can in high school. Enjoy it. Join the clubs. Join the teams. Be a part of it. Don't make the same mistake I did. I'm so sorry that I didn't do more. It upsets me that I didn't do more. But that's the only thing I can say. Just enjoy it. Be part of it. You know, I have a 16-year-old granddaughter now, and I tell her the same thing. Be a part of your school. You'll never get it back.
Well, I wanted to thank you for taking time away from your family as the summer's starting to share your memories at Hallahan, and for all the people, the girls who are graduated this year in the past. Just like I told the guys at North Catholic, everybody has a story, and with the school, you know, not knowing what's going to happen and most likely just going to close, get on here and share your memories. I mean, these are things that you know, you can sit around in the bars when you're having Hallahan Day and talking about your memories. Oh yeah, I remember that, and giggling and laughing. Well, this is what this is all about. It's about keeping Hallahan alive. And definitely. Francis, again, I definitely want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, and my condolences to, you know, your alumni for, you know, getting screwed over by the Archdiocese like we were.
Yes. Thank you so much for doing this. I really think it's a great idea, and I hope you get a whole ton of girls, women coming on.
Yep. Well,
I look.
I'm trying to get my wife on here. She's class of 92. So, and mom, my wife's, yep. And my mom as well. So, yeah. So I just want to thank you again. And this should be up shortly. It takes about 10 minutes to upload, and it'll be up on YouTube. I'm going to throw it on your guys' alumni page.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Francis, you take care. Be safe and have a great summer.
You too.